Imagine roaring V8s and sleek muscle car designs, not in Detroit, but in the streets of Brazil and Argentina. South America had its own muscle car scene, and some of these beasts could go head-to-head with the American legends. Yet, for some reason, we don't tend to hear about them. Let's fix that. Buckle up and rev up, because we're uncovering the South American muscle cars you've probably never heard of but need to know, the powerhouse engines hidden in these rare machines, and why these cars remain legends in their home countries but are almost unknown elsewhere. Make sure you park it in your bed, chair, or wherever you're watching this, because some of these might surprise you. When people think of muscle cars, the usual suspects tend to come to mind: Mustangs, Camaros, Chargers, all fabulous cars in their own right. But what if I told you that Brazil, Argentina, and other South American countries built their own high-performance muscle machines? Much of the world associates this region with compact cars and fuel efficiency, but muscle car culture here runs deep and has its own unique twist. Many of these cars were in fact inspired by American models, but had to adapt due to regulations, local production limits, and fuel economy concerns. This meant fewer V8s running around, but a surprising number of high-performance inline-six monsters. Not all of them fit the traditional definition of a muscle car, since these cars are typically defined by a V8 engine, but they were still powerful, fast, and became icons in their home countries. But unlike their American counterparts, these cars never got the worldwide recognition they deserved. Until now. So with no further BS, let's break down the top South American muscle cars that defined an era. Brazilian Chevrolet Opala SS. The Opala SS was Brazil's take on American muscle cars, launched in 1968 and was produced for over 2 decades. The car was inspired by the Opel record, but packed with Chevrolet's 4.1-liter inline-six, producing up to 171 horsepower, which was impressive for its class. Known for its lightweight build, aggressive SS badging, and high torque, this baby was a favorite for street racing. And while its lack of the venerable V8 may make it not technically a muscle car, it became an icon in Brazil's performance scene. Brazilian Ford Maverick GT. The Maverick GT was one of the few true muscle cars in Brazil, featuring a 5.0-liter V8. A direct competitor to the Opala SS, this V8-powered beast offered a bolder, American-style muscle experience. Packing dual exhausts, racing stripes, and bucket seats, it stood out as a high-performance street machine, making it a favorite in Brazil's underground drag racing community. Argentinian Dodge Charger RT. The Dodge Charger RT of Argentina was a unique take on muscle, based on the Dodge Polara but enhanced with a sportier design. This car was powered by a 3.8-liter or 4.0-liter inline-six, producing solid performance for the time. Featuring enhanced suspension, sportier looks, and a more aggressive exhaust node, the RT turned heads everywhere it rolled. Though it lacked the V8 to make it a true muscle car, it remains a prized collectible among enthusiasts even today. Argentinian Chevy 250. As Argentina's answer to the Chevrolet Nova, this car featured a 4.1-liter inline-six with powerful low-end torque. Being of lightweight construction, it was a perfect candidate for performance upgrades and street racing dominance. And its lack of a V8 did not stop it from being a strong competitor in South America's underground racing circuits. Brazilian Puma GTB. A Brazilian performance icon, this is one of the few independently built performance cars and was created during strict import regulations. Powered by a 4.1-liter Chevrolet inline-six, it produced about 171 horsepower, making it one of Brazil's fastest cars of the time. Its fiberglass body made it lightweight and helped improve acceleration. And its long hood, wide rear haunches, and a fastback-style roofing gave it a classic muscle car appearance. Being a performance-focused car, the sport-tuned suspension and chassis allowed for decent handling, making it competitive in amateur racing circuits. Thanks to its rarity from being independently hand-built, it's one of the most collectible Brazilian cars today. Unlike most muscle-inspired cars, the GBT had a well-equipped interior, offering a balance between comfort and power. All these things put together made it a status symbol in Brazil, often owned by car enthusiasts who wanted something exotic yet powerful. And when you have this amount of exclusivity and power-focused engineering all in one package, who needs a V8? Argentinian Ford Falcon Sprint. Argentina's ultimate performance sedan, the Falcon Sprint saw heavy use in motorsports. Don't be fooled by its 3.6-liter inline-six. It was a powerful and reliable touring car. The Falcon Sprint was one of the most successful cars in the Turismo Carretera, Argentina's premier racing series, and while it wasn't a muscle car technically, its racing legacy makes it a legend. Argentinian Dodge GTX. In the late 1960s, Argentina's Dodge division sought to bring muscle car culture to South America. Inspired by the American Plymouth GTX, the Dodge GTX was born, a high-performance coupe that embodied muscle car styling, but with a unique twist. Unlike the American counterpart, which had V8 engines, the Argentine Dodge GTX was powered by a 3.7-liter or 4.0-liter inline-six. The high-output slant-six engine delivered around 200 horsepower, respectable for the time, but falling short of the raw power of American muscle cars. But with its lightweight frame and sport-tuned suspension, it was an exciting car to drive. The Dodge GTX quickly became a favorite among Argentine street racers, competing in drag and circuit racing. It also participated in Turismo Carretera, Argentina's legendary touring car championship, where its strong acceleration and handling helped it hold its own against Ford Falcons and Chevy 250s. Despite not having that classic V8, the Dodge GTX is one of Argentina's most beloved muscle-inspired cars. Its blend of American muscle styling with local engineering made it a respected performance machine on the streets and racetracks. Nowadays, the GTX is a rare collector's car, with enthusiasts restoring and modifying them for even greater performance. Brazilian Chevy Omega CD 4.1. By the 1990s, Chevrolet Brazil was looking for a modern, high-performance sedan that would carry on the Opala's legacy while introducing new technology and refinement. This led to the creation of the Chevrolet Omega CD 4.1, a luxury performance sedan with muscle car DNA. The Omega CD 4.1 was powered by Chevrolet's legendary 4.1-liter inline-six, the same engine found in the Opala SS. However, in the Omega, this engine was refined with fuel injection, smoother power delivery, and a more advanced suspension system. Producing 168 horsepower, it was one of the fastest Brazilian-built sedans of the time. Unlike most muscle-inspired cars of the past, the Omega CD 4.1 was both fast and luxurious. It had a comfy ride, a high-quality interior, and advanced safety features for the time. This made it a favorite among executives and performance enthusiasts who wanted speed without sacrificing comfort. The Omega was also one of the last high-performance, naturally aspirated sedans in Brazil before stricter emissions laws and downsized engines took over. Nowadays, it's a favorite among collectors, with well-maintained models commanding high prices even today. Argentinian Torino GS. The Torino GS wasn't just a car, it was Argentina's flagship performance vehicle. Developed by IKA Renault in collaboration with AMC, the Torino combined European refinement with American muscle styling. Under the hood, the Torino GS featured a 3.8-liter inline-six, one of the most powerful naturally aspirated engines available in Argentina at the time. Producing around 250 horsepower, it had strong acceleration and high-speed capability. The Torino GS became internationally famous when it competed in the Nürburgring 84-hour endurance race in 1969. This race was a grueling test of speed, durability, and engineering. Against its European and American rivals, the Torino shocked the world by finishing as one of the top cars, proving its reliability and performance on a global stage. This, among other factors, made the Torino GS a symbol of national pride in Argentina. It was driven by politicians, race car drivers, and enthusiasts, and remained a dream car for many Argentinian patrol heads. Nowadays, the Torino GS is one of Argentina's most iconic performance cars, often compared to American muscle cars in terms of street presence and cultural significance. Brazilian Volkswagen SP2. This one might seem like a footnote compared to other cars, but it was a stunning Brazilian sports car featuring a rear-mounted 1.7-liter flat-4 engine. While it lacked that true muscle car power, it was one of the most exotic designs to come from Brazil. While not exactly a muscle car by any stretch, it's still an iconic performance coupe of Brazilian descent. Brazilian FNM Alfa Romeo 2150. This performance sedan was produced under Alfa Romeo's ownership of Brazil's FNM brand. Powered by a 2.1-liter twin-cam inline-4, it offered superior handling and refinement compared to most other cars. Again, not really a muscle car, but its unique blend of European luxury and South American power meant it just had to be mentioned simply for its impact in South American car culture. Brazilian Chevrolet Chevette GP2. Designed to appeal to Brazilian driving enthusiasts, this was a high-performance version of the Chevette. Despite not having a traditional muscle car engine, its light weight made it quick and responsive when driving. And unlike many compact cars of the era, the GP2 featured rear-wheel drive, making it more engaging when coasting down the road. Due to its use in Brazilian amateur racing, it proved its performance potential on tight tracks and city streets. And being a sportier car, it came with racing stripes, aggressive badging, and aerodynamic tweaks, giving it that muscle car-inspired look. And perhaps the best part, it was offered as a budget-friendly alternative to larger, more expensive performance cars in Brazil. But if you thought that held up today, I'm sorry to say that it's a rare and increasingly valuable commodity among enthusiasts, especially if it's well-maintained or modified. And speaking of mods, many owners would swap in larger engines or turbocharge the inline-4, pushing performance to even greater heights. Its small engine and compact design may keep it out of the traditional muscle car category, but with its rear-wheel drive and sporty DNA, it made for a fun, performance-driven street machine. And there you have it, folks. These South American performance cars weren't copies of American legends. They were their own unique machines, tailored for their roads, fuel standards, and economy. While most of them may not have had that venerable V8, they had the aggressive styling, street acceleration, and raw driving experience to make them worthy of attention. These highly collectible cars tell a forgotten chapter of muscle car history that we believe deserves more recognition. But if you enjoyed our deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more classic car history. So, which one of these cars surprised you the most? Let's talk muscle.